She is in spirit and she is fine. What you are experiencing is a reflection of something going on within you about your own fears. She's bringing them out in you, but it's not about her, it's about you. We cannot go deeply into this if we cannot communicate more directly with this person at this time, because there are things we would need to explore in depth. But it's not about her, it's about you, and something she is attempting to get you to look at that is a fear within yourself, in your belief system. She is fine.
Good day, Bashar.
Good day. What would you like to discuss this day?
Sure. So I guess I have a couple questions. Probably sound a little bit weird, but a couple months ago, I guess I was awake in bed. I looked over at my wife on my wife's side, and the pillow turned into like almost like a face, and it was very distinct. It was a man's face with a big beard, and at the time, I didn't know who that was or anything. And I ended up looking it up, and it looked like it was the face of like an Anunnaki. Or when I looked at it further, it kind of showed that it was Enki, I believe. And it looked at me and it said, "No, no, no." Now, it wasn't fearful or scared or anything. I was just kind of like in a bit of shock. So I looked at it, and then I realized later it wasn't saying no, no, no. It was saying no, 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 like as in hey,
KNOW.
yeah. And I
Yes.
guess my first question is like, why did I see that? What does that all mean? What's it trying to tell me? What do I need to know?
Well, you were in the proper state to receive direct communication from another level, from interdimensional spirit realms that allow you to know that you can be more than you are, that you are more than you are as a physical being, that you're connecting to the guides that you have, connecting to the information and knowledge that you need to know. How did it feel vibrationally?
I mean, I guess I was kind of shocked, just like trying to talk myself that what I was seeing was real and that it wasn't made
All
up or
right.
anything.
All
Yeah.
right. But I'm not asking you how you felt emotionally. How did you feel vibrationally?
I guess I felt kind of excited.
All right. Then remember that feeling, because that's the vibrational state to come from in all the actions you do in life that are representative of your truth, your passion, who you really are. They're giving you an opportunity to recognize what your true vibrational state is, your natural state, your core essential vibration. So, and it's also a reminder of the ancient wisdom, which is why it kind of came in a representation of a very ancient form. Know thyself, KNOW. So the idea is the more you know yourself, the more you will be your true self, the more you will express your true self, the more you will constantly operate on that vibrational state that was reflected to you in that moment when you were kind of out of the way, when your physical mind was willing to open up and allow you to receive that particular reminder, that particular reflection at that time.
Okay, perfect. So then this brings me back to another experience that I had in my mid 20s. Again, I was in bed. My wife was beside me. Her father had just passed away. So at the time, I saw a figure in the room. It was very tall with long fingers. It walked over to my wife's side of the bed. And again, I was trying to question myself whether I was seeing things or not. And then I saw the pillow move. And I knew right away that this was real. And I woke her up and told her about it. And then later on, after I started following some of the stuff you were saying, I'm not sure if it was her dad that I was seeing, but if it was maybe something else. I was hoping you could shed some light on that.
It was something else. The father energy was present as well, but what you were seeing was something else that has to do with extra dimensional and extraterrestrial connections and participation in what we call the hybridization agenda and the evolution of humanity.
So was that me being a participant in that, or was that my wife being a participant in that?
At the moment, your wife at that time,
Okay.
but
Wow.
your awareness of it is because you are participating in another way.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. In the last several weeks, I heard you speak in Sedona, And since then, we've had multiple sightings of flashing lights, once in Sedona and 3 times in Kelowna, BC, where I live. And I'm just wondering, why am I seeing this so much lately? Including my wife and my family are seeing it too now. We're all seeing it
Because
in
you
Ottawa.
allowed yourself to wake up to the fact that there is a different reality around you that was heretofore invisible. Any time that you're willing to expand your consciousness, your senses expand along with it to allow you to see what is around you all the time, but most people don't ordinarily see.
So these aren't ships that I'm seeing, right?
Yes, some of them are. Some of them can be entities unto themselves. There's a lot of traffic and a lot of activity around your planet. It's just that most people don't see it because they're not on the same wavelength.
Okay.
But once your
Um,
senses expand, once your senses sharpen, then you can see things that you couldn't see before. That becomes
and,
what
and
you
on,
call your new normal.
and my senses are can be sharpened further by practicing the formula, I assume.
Well, yes, by acting on it, yes,
Okay.
if that is what you mean
Uh,
by practicing.
yes. May I ask one more question after this question?
Go ahead, and thank you for
I
your
live in Kelowna.
cleverness.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just trying to be. No, I wasn't trying to be clever. I just wanted to make sure that I
That
wasn't
was not an admonition,
okay.
it was a compliment.
Uh, oh, thank you. So my last question was, again, I live in Kelowna, BC, on the Okanagan Lake, and here there's tales of the Ogopogo. And again, our family has felt like we've seen a few instances where we've seen it. Is the legend of the Ogopogo real? Is it harmful to us?
It is not harmful to you. It is real, but again, you're dealing with interdimensional beings that can come and go, which is why it is seen so infrequently.
So have I?
Similar to the idea of Sasquatch and Yeti.
Okay. Have I seen it lately? Like, is that real what I'm seeing then? Like in the water?
Sometimes. Sometimes it is a trick of the light. Sometimes it is an
Okay.
alteration of perception into a different reality and not in yours. So you have to be able to discern and tell the difference, what reality you're looking at. And sometimes
Wow.
it's in what you consider to be your typical reality. So it just depends.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, Bashar.
Our unconditional appreciation to you as well. Aveo.
Aveo.
Hello, Bashar. I'm wondering if you can provide me information about a species of extraterrestrial beings I met during an astral projection. I saw a male and female of this race. They were very, very lean, extremely low body fat, and dense, ripped muscles on their arms. They had ridges along the side of their face, and they were wearing a black and yellow garment that looked sort of like leather, and it reminded me of the fusion jacket from Dragon Ball Z. It also had ridges along the arms. The fusion jacket is interesting because that makes me think, well, maybe these are hybrids, as they're alluding to fusion. And I'd also like to comment that the name Varya came to me, and I'm wondering maybe these beings are connected to the Virgo constellation. Please expand if you can. Thanks.
What you were given is a projection, an interpretation. You are not seeing the beings as they actually are. This is a race of beings we are not allowed to discuss at this time, but that you are connected to. It does have to do with Virgo, but that's all we can say. But what you saw is not exactly what they are. It was made up of an interpretation of things from your mind so that you would have something to relate to. These encounters can continue, and you may gain more familiarity with them over time. But it is not our job to discuss this further.
Hello.
Good day, good day.
Good day, Bashar. So excited to see you.
We thank you. It is our passion and our pleasure to interact with you as well. What would you like to discuss?
So my first question is, oh, which which extraterrestrial race do I have? Do I have any connections with any extraterrestrial race like the Sirius or Bosnia in location?
All humans have connections to extraterrestrial races. The ones that are most common for humanity are the beings from the Sirius star system, the Pleiadian star system, the ancient Orion systems, Arcturus energy, hybrids, grays, Lyrans sometimes, tall whites, Andromeda galaxy, so on and so forth, plus several others we're not allowed to discuss. But all humans to varying degrees and at different moments have stronger or weaker connections that they download information and experience from to all of these different ET races that are involved with the evolution of Earth.
Okay, thank you. And so, do I have any, extended family members on the other side who are, whom I might meet at some point?
Yes, you all have soul family members that are non-physical.
Okay, so that when open contact happens, we get to meet them. Is that?
You're talking about extraterrestrials, you're talking about spirits. Because when you say family members on the other side, it means spirits.
Extraterrestrials. Like
Yes.
extraterrestrial, like people.
You may meet some of your extraterrestrial counterparts when open contact occurs, yes.
Okay, thank you so much. And another one is about the Judeo-Christian culture. I think you spoke about the Merovingian bloodline. Are they still around?
They are.
Would,
It goes all the way back to the idea of the Anunnaki bloodlines. So it still exists in many individuals. It exists in all of you to some degree. Some individuals, some strains, some cultures have a little bit more of it, more direct route to it than others, but it exists in all of you.
Okay. What, with regards to the wars that are, a lot of divisions that we see today, and also, with regards steps or methods do you recommend to resolve many of these clashes or conflicts and, and the climate as a whole for the earth? Like, what do you recommend the best path? What course of action do you think we should, both as individuals and as a collective?
It is very important to let go of fear-based beliefs, negative beliefs, to have understanding and compassion for each other, that each of you walk a different path for a good reason, that there isn't just one way to do things, that there are several ways to do things, as indicated by the number of individual paths that exist, that it all leads to the same place, it all leads home, it all leads to the same source, it all comes from the same source, and to let go of the idea that you have the only truth, the only perspective that counts, but to understand and validate the individual differences among all of you to create true unity, true harmony.
But when people give you opinions or truths per se, so how do you settle, or how do you so is it like a subjective? Is it completely subject to what works for each individual, or is there an ideal path which would works best for most people? Because if
This is why we give
agree
you
on.
This is why we give you the formula. And the only reason most people don't agree is because they're too caught up in their own belief system and not really looking at the fundamental reasons why those beliefs exist. Once you examine those beliefs and let go of the ones that are truly no longer relevant for you, truly not representative of your core frequency, there will be no disagreement. There will be validation of the differences, and the differences will be seen in a different light. And they will be seen as different ways to reach the same source. So you have to let go of the fear-based and negative beliefs to see it that way.
Okay, so that's part of how we end up activating many of our genetic markers.
By following the formula, you raise your vibration. By raising your vibrational frequency, you activate the genetic markers that are relevant for you at this time to allow for the expansion of consciousness.
Thank you. And finally, do you have any personal advice for me as an individual, like what I should do, what path I should take, or
follow the formula?
With regards to
follow the formula
Okay.
as precisely as possible.
Thank you.
Because you are unique and therefore you have your way of expressing your passion and acting as a living example to others of how they can do so for themselves as well. So just by following the formula precisely, then you will be doing everything you can possibly do to serve humanity, which will then in turn serve you.
I like when I follow the formula at many points, I encounter, divisions. I mean, not divisions, but how do I say, difference of opinion and difference of interest when it comes to language and how we communicate. Is there at
Yes.
some point where those get resolved?
Absolutely. Because again, when you raise your frequency, you become more and more empathic and telepathic, and you know what each other are thinking without necessarily using the languages. The languages will start to fall away when you allow yourselves to identify and feel what others are feeling, to relate to it, to understand it, to have compassion for it. When you fall in love with one another, you will speak a different language. Does that help you?
Okay, thank you.
All right, we thank you.
Yes,
Aveo.
absolutely.
Good
Thank
day.
you so much. Aveo. Day. See you, Bashar.
To you all.
Our unconditional love to you as well.
Let me just expand on the sonoluminescence.
Yes.
Is there a similar conversion process in which you can convert sound or any other medium into electrical energy?
Absolutely.
Tell me about it.
Absolutely. Well, you have it in the basic fact of sonoluminescence. You just have to make slight adjustments, or you can add what are called waveguides in the area where you are creating the light with the sound, and the waveguide can be of a diameter that is representative of an electrical wavelength, so that it can conduct that vibration down its length in such a way so that it acts as a step-down transformer and a converter into the idea of what you call electrical phenomenology.
Cool.
It would help if it was actually lower in temperature, yes. What you call superconductive.
Right. So is superconductive the only possible at low temperature, or is there a way to...
No. The idea can be at what you typically refer to as room temperature and even higher temperatures than that. You just haven't discovered the materials yet that are responsible for being able to do that.
But you have, didn't you?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
You can use mixtures of copper and boron and a few other things that we will get into at another time when you are ready for that information. But you can begin experimenting with those.
Gotcha.
Does that help?
That does. Thank you very much. What is the speed of the, what we call here, electrostatic potential, or the potential of a charge density?
Well, it is fundamentally infinite, but you have different levels of it that you interpret in your dimensional reality. So depending upon the frequency you're at, it will determine a different speed for that. But the fundamental tick of the clock is what you refer to as the Planck time.
Okay, so Planck's constant is valid in some sense.
It is the tick of the clock of your experience of physical reality, yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Does that help?
It does. What role does macroscopic quantum tunneling play in energy reception and energy conversion in electrical
It plays
systems?
a huge role.
Tell me about
It's
it.
actually within your biology, it's actually within your brain, and helps to allow your brain to act as a receiver for the higher frequency energies of your higher mind and convert them down into things that then can be processed as belief systems and thoughts and emotions and behaviors and activity within your biological.
And how does it apply specifically to electrical energy in systems?
Well, it helps generate the matrix along which electrical impulses can most easily be conducted.
So, and can you talk about an application to a, other than the brain?
Well, in the senses. Many of your scientists are now discovering that the ability of certain animals, such as certain birds, to navigate by the electromagnetic field has to do with the idea of quantum tunneling.
Gotcha.
Does that help?
It does, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
That's enough.
Thank you very much. Love you, Bashar.
And our love to you.
Bye-bye.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Nice to meet you.
And you as well.
So I would like to ask you if some beings have higher vibration than human being.
Well, we have a higher vibration
Yes,
than
and
humans.
your physical body can be seen for us or not?
Well, you can see us, but we are almost non-physical. But we can make ourselves appear to you in solid form.
So you can decrease your vibration?
Yes,
And
which we do in order for this channeling to happen, because we have to come closer to the vibration of the channel, and the channel raises his vibration to come closer to us.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Is that it?
Yes.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
And you, good day.
It's so nice to meet you.
And you as well. Speak up, so that all may hear you.
My question that I wanted to ask you was already answered.
How synchronous of you.
Yeah. So I just wanted to ask you just a mundane question. What does your normal day look like?
What does my normal day look like? All right. Not that anything in our reality is normal. It is natural instead. But the idea is, as many of you know, I am a first contact specialist. Therefore, a lot of my day is occupied by making contact with different civilizations, such as yours, extending the relationship between my civilization and those civilizations, such as yours. Some of my day may sometimes be occupied by the idea of exploring space, discovering the idea of new civilizations to make contact with. A lot of it is spent observing how different civilizations function. A lot of it is also spent participating in some of those civilizations in a variety of ways. Some of it is also acting as a sculptor, utilizing different materials, such as what we described earlier as the nanoglass material, to create different forms that are receptive to different levels of energy and express those energies through those forms as we create them. Interacting also with my fellow beings on my own world in a variety of ways. There are many things that occupy my experience on a day-to-day basis. Will that answer your question?
Thank you very much, yeah. And just one more question.
Oh, you had a question after all.
Yeah. Do you also need to sleep?
We do not sleep anymore. We do not eat anymore. We learned at one point in our civilization, in our evolution, to lucid dream very powerfully. And when we learned to lucid dream, we became aware that on a higher level, there is what we call a template, a blueprint for physical reality. And in lucid dreaming, by becoming awake in the dream and controlling the dream, we could take our consciousness to that level of the template and actually make adjustments in the template, in the blueprint, to make changes in physical reality that then allowed us to become more lucid in the physical dream. And then we started to understand that physical reality was just a different kind of dream. And so by becoming lucid in our dream state, we became lucid in the physical dream, and they started to blend together until there was no difference. So we don't need to go to sleep because we're always dreaming and we're always awake. Does that help you?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. At this timing, we will extend to each and every one of you our suggestion to go and refresh yourselves, and we will resume this transmission after your break. Thank you.
Hi, Bashar. I have a question about an experience that I had. It was kind of like a dream, but it felt real, where aliens came into my house and asked me where I had gotten a big black cube that was sitting on my dining room table. I didn't know what it was or where it came from, and I told them that, and they said that I had wished for it when I was younger. And they mentioned a song that I used to sing from my favorite Disney movie. And then they took me out the window with them. And I also felt this buzzing and vibration in the back of my head. I was just wondering if you could give me any information on that, or if you knew. I'm really curious as to what the black box was, because they said I wished for it and I'm not really sure. I'm trying to figure out what it is. So thank you.
It is the truth about your being and your connection to them and your participation in the hybridization agenda. It was put into the black box so that it would open at the time when it was important for you to remember. It was hidden away until such time as it is important for you to remember your participation in the hybridization agenda. And what you experienced was a memory, not a dream. The buzzing is the effect of transitioning to a different vibrational reality. That's how your body interprets the change in frequency from one reality to another. It's not uncommon for people to experience that in having encounters that shift you to a different reality. It is often accompanied by a vibrational sound.
Hello, Bashar.
Good day, good day.
Bashar, I feel like the language as we use it here has no adequate words to express how grateful I am for this opportunity of this exchange. And I would just like to say, with the words that I do have, thank you so much to you, to Darrell, and all the people behind the scenes who make this production and make this interaction possible.
It is our passion and our pleasure to do so, and it is our deep appreciation for the co-creation of this interaction to you.
Thank you. So I knew that I have just very little time with you today, and I was wondering, if synchronicity will show me what kind of questions I should ask. And then yesterday, I saw a huge Dalmatian dog in front of my house, which is quite rare because it's not a dog race that is common here where I live. And I thought, okay, now I got the clue. And the reason why I won this raffle was a dream. I dreamt about the baby that was dressed in a blue overall. It looked to me like a few months old, but it said something that was so funny that my husband and I laughed really, this heartfelt laugh that you don't get often. And I asked it, how come you're so eloquent and so small? And he said something that I can't remember. And then I said, how old are you? And he said, 13 years. And I thought, how come he's so small? This can't be. When I woke up, I thought, wait a minute, this speech pattern that the baby had, this is Bashar, or his people talk like that. I remembered a study that was done with Darrell where they studied the content of the information that he was giving when he's channeling you. And I thought, okay, that has to do something with Bashar, this whole dream. And I thought, okay, what happened 13 years ago? I have no idea. And then I looked back at my dreams and I realized that 14 months ago, I had another dream where I was in a blue tube, again, this same blue, this eclectic blue, and I was talking with an ET. And this tube was like a frequency protector. So I was safe from the frequency that the ET was emitting, and we were so able to have a conversation. But I was still in this blue-black tube. And we were talking about Croatia or Dalmatia, hence the dog, yes. who I thought is the sign that I should be talking about that. And because I was clearly agitated in the dream, but in a positive sense during the dream, My husband woke me up because he was thinking I'm struggling. And then I lost the conversation and I was thinking, oh no, the ETs will think I'm so rude. I just disappeared without saying goodbye or something. And I have no idea what was spoken about, but I know it was about Dalmatia. So maybe
All right.
you can shed some light on
Well,
that.
first and foremost, do you remember what the child said that had you laughing?
No, unfortunately not.
All right. Remember that you are part of the hybridization program. You understand this?
I understand it since the 25th of March this year.
All right. Well, the child was a hybrid child. It wasn't me. It is a hybrid child that is connected to you.
Okay.
So, yes,
Does my husband also have hybrid children?
you both do, yes. Your genetics have been used, both of you, in the hybridization program. The idea is that the child is awakening within you more understanding, more expansion of consciousness, because again, the age of 13 is the symbol of transformation, the symbol of change, the symbol of letting go of the old ways and beginning the new ways, the symbol of a new cycle. So in that transformation, you are awakening to your participation, to the realization of your participation in the hybridization program. And this can carry you forward as an energy, as a momentum, into further exploration and further understanding of the role you can play in your area in helping with the awakening by being a living example of following the formula, following your passions, living your joys, living your dreams, acting through them in a way that allows others to see that they can do so as well. Do you understand?
I do. I do.
So much of the conversation that you are having in those encounters were taking place in a slightly altered reality. And the idea of the blue is a vibration that was acting as a buffer for the vibration of the ET, so you would not be overwhelmed. The idea then is to live up to the frequency that represents your higher self, your soul. And in what ways, I'm asking you, are you able to do that on your planet? How can you be of service to humanity by acting on your passions?
I think by what comes to mind, the first thing that comes to mind is that I used to be working as a counselor.
Yes.
And I have overcome a lot of physical challenges, health challenges, and all kinds of challenges. And I think this is an example that no matter what happens, I can still stay in a positive state, irrespective of.
You can transform. You can transform whatever it is and turn it into a lesson that expands your soul.
Yes.
So why is it that you used to be a counselor?
Because right now I'm a student again. I'm studying meditation. I want to become a meditation teacher.
All right. And so this is exciting to you, yes?
No.
No?
Not 100%. I have to tell you, since I was informed that I want this interaction with you, I had another dream that really turned my life upside down. And would you permit me now to tell you the dream?
Briefly, yes.
Yes. So I had a dream that I was waiting for a bus, and next to me was a man in a wheelchair, and he wanted to go onto the bus, but took my luggage. And I said, "Sir," he was an army veteran, and I said, "Sir, this is my luggage." And then because I was pulling him back, he couldn't enter the bus. But because he was going forward towards the bus, I look at the bus and I see several mantis beings standing on the bus. And I'm intrigued, benevolently intrigued. And I say to him, "Oh, look, there are mantis." And he said, "Oh, now I really have to get onto that bus." And the bus was going over a bridge from small city to big city. And the mantis were so alert. They were looking into the direction of where the bus was about to drive. And the air was filled with this alertness. You could cut it with a knife. That's how it felt to me. And I was thinking, okay, I'll go too. And then when I woke up, I asked my husband, what do you know about the mantis? And he said, not much. And I said, I know nothing. I've heard the word, but I knew nothing. And then I started researching, and since then, I'm still grappling to fit it all together.
All right.
I read that they're connected with the Sasani, and I was thinking
they are connected to the hybridization program. They are the overseers.
Exactly. If somebody had asked me just 3 weeks ago, do you want to learn more about the mantis? I would have politely said, no, thank you, because I thought I'm not interested at all in anything insect. And now I think, oh my God, I must be somehow connected with the hybridization program. Otherwise, I wouldn't be dreaming so rapidly after.
All right. The symbology is mixed up with an actual presentation on a slightly different level of reality of getting on a ship with the mantises, and the idea of the veteran who is in a wheelchair grabbing your bags is an indication that it is important to let go of old baggage that holds you back in order for you to move forward and join on that ship with the mantises to go from a smaller reality to a larger reality, which is what the bridge represents, going from a smaller city to a larger city. So it's about really letting go of the old baggage, because that baggage holds you back, and allowing yourself to be free enough to move forward, to get on the bus, so to speak, to go in that direction, and to expand your consciousness. Does that help you?
Yeah, that does help me. How is the number 55 and 11 connected to the mantis? I had another dream that 55 is mantis and 11 is Sasani. What does this mean?
5 is the number of humanity. The idea is that you create synchronistic numbers for yourself to let yourself know, as like road signs, when you are in the correct vibration to move forward, to come from, to act from in your life. So all the numbers are basically representative of connecting to the one, but expressing it through your human self in a way that is more representative of your higher mind, of your soul, the one.
Okay. And is the flower iris somehow connected to any of the hybrid children?
Yes. It is not only the name of a hybrid child, the idea of the iris is that which opens up wider to allow more light in.
Yes.
It is not just the idea of the flower. It is more the idea of the iris that opens in your eye, the iris that opens in a camera lens to allow more light in. So open up and let more light in. Let go of the old baggage that's holding you down.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Does this serve you?
That serves me very much. Thank you.
All right. We thank you. Aveo.
Aveo.
Hey Bashar, this is your friend Teresa. Back in 1995, someone asked you about a race that he was calling the unseen ethereals because of their very pleasant ethereal aspect, as opposed to the fearful experience he was having with the Greys. You told him that that was a race you would call the founders, and that he was experiencing only one part of their nature, only the ethereal part of their nature, and that there was much more to them. And I'm wondering if you could talk more about the founders now. Have things changed enough since 1995 that you can give us more information on the founders? Thanks, Bashar.
No. However, there may be more about that group that will be presented within 3 to 5 of your years, not necessarily from us. but more information about them within 3 to 5 of your years, coming from a different source.
To you, good day.
I grew up in I'm going to try not to get emotional.
Well, that's all right. You can get emotional. There's nothing wrong with being emotional.
I grew up in what I now recognize as a religious cult, and I grew up with a lot of fear of
Yes.
life, basically.
Oh, all right. Well, how exciting for you.
I'm having trouble letting go of that fear in order to move forward.
All right. Well, what are you afraid will happen if you do let go?
That's a good question.
Thank you. Do you have a good answer?
Not really.
Sure you do. Just think about it for a moment. What are you afraid will happen to you if you let go of the fear? There's a paradox there, isn't there?
There is.
So you're saying, I want to let go of the fear, but I'm afraid something will happen if I do. What are you afraid will happen? Come on, use your imagination. I know you people can come up with amazing nightmares. So come on. This is the way to get at it. This is what we're attempting to show you right now. This is the way to get at it.
Right.
This is the way to answer the question for yourself. If you can't find the answer of what it is you believe to be true, what it is you're defining to be true, just by asking, well, what would I have to believe is true in order to feel the way I do, which is fine. Sometimes because you're so used to the idea of fear, because you've been entrained into the idea of fear, you can use the fear in a positive way to drive the answer to the surface by being willing to hear the answer when you ask the question, what am I actually terrified will happen if I allow myself to be who I prefer to be? And if you're willing to hear the answer will come.
I'm afraid that I will lose my family who are still trapped in that cult.
I see. But not that anything is ever really lost, but in a sense, haven't you lost them already?
Yes.
Therefore, that's not something that will happen. It's something you're saying already exists.
Yes, there's definitely been a drawing apart the more I become true to myself and walk away from those beliefs.
And what's wrong with that?
Nothing.
So remember, please, as we have just explained, you can do whatever you feel is in alignment with your truth to aid and assist them, to give them an option to change their point of view if they so desire. But if they desire not to, maybe they need to be on that path just as you did for a while in order to learn what they really need to learn. You don't know. You understand?
Yes.
But that shouldn't stop you from becoming more of who you prefer to be. And in fact, the more you are willing to become more of who you really are, the more capable you will be of actually being able to help them should they ultimately desire your assistance. Whereas if you just remain in the fear, all you're doing is remaining within the parameters that you were in with them before, and you're reinforcing that energy for them too, because you're not showing them that there can be a difference. And you're not showing yourself that there can be a difference. Does this make sense?
Yes, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Is this helping?
Absolutely.
So if you move forward in your true joy, is there anything really to be afraid of?
No.
You know that. Yes?
I know that intellectually.
Oh, there's that lovely phrase that you people use. I know that intellectually.
I'm learning it. I will say that I am learning it.
You are in process of learning that. And in that process, what you're going to do is you're going to discover more and more definitions that are out of alignment with who you prefer to be, and you're going to go through the process of letting them go. Yes?
Yes.
Letting them go so you can grow. Yes?
Yes.
All right, so that's your process. Anything wrong with that?
No.
All right, so are you having fun with that process?
Yes.
Anytime you feel fear, use the fear in a positive way. Redefine it so that it becomes a messenger knocking on your door to let you know that you have a definition that doesn't work for you, that you're still holding on to. So when you feel the fear, say, thank you, fear, for bringing that to my attention. Let me find out what that is so that if it's not what I prefer, I can let it go. And that's how you use fear in a positive way. Make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Is this helping you?
Yes, very much.
Anything else?
No.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Pleasure to meet you.
And you as well.
My question kind of has two parts. The
Oh,
first
all right.
part is, do dreams come in the service of health and wholeness for individuals in the society?
Do they come in the service of health and wholeness?
Do we dream in a sense, is that a way of healing ourselves?
It's one way, yes. It's not the only way, but it's one way you can use dreams as a representation of the things that need to be rebalanced, and sometimes the rebalancing can actually happen in the dream state.
Okay.
It just depends.
How can I help people, or because I'm also working towards MFT licensure as a therapist?
Yes.
And
this excites you?
It does.
All right.
It does. And I'd like to be able to utilize this in a way to assist people in their own becoming.
All right. Well, what's stopping you?
Oh, nothing. I just would like to know if there is a better way or
a better way,
good way to use the dreams to help people.
The way that you're most excited to use them is the best way.
Okay.
Don't you trust your imagination?
Yes.
Well, then don't you understand that the permission slips you attract because those are the ones at that moment that will work best with your belief system?
Oh, no, I didn't think about that.
Oh, well, now you can.
Yeah.
That's how it works. You attract what works for you as a symbol, as a permission slip, as a mechanism.
Okay.
That's why you attract it, because it's in alignment with your belief system in such a way that allows you to be willing to give yourself permission to be more of who you are. And in working with other people, you will also attract whatever permission slip will allow you to be most effective. Now, you have to have no insistence or assumption as to what you think they're going to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because different people will come to you for a variety of different reasons, and not all of them will be what you expect. Mm-hmm. You can even attract someone for the exact opposite reason you assume they might be coming to you. Someone might be very insistent that they simply cannot be healed. I'm going to go to a healer and I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove that no one can heal me. There I went. See, nothing happened. Ha, told you.
Yeah.
But you have helped them because what they actually came to you for was a reinforcement of something they already believe and want to hold on to. So you help them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to heal in the way you think they do in order for you to be of help just by being there. Just by being a sounding board, just by being an experience. They will use it however they need to. You just need to be there. Make sense?
It does.
You can give them the vibration that may represent the healed state. If they choose to align with it, they can experience the balancing and the healing. But they don't have to choose to align with it. Your healing must be unconditional to really be healing.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Is this helping?
Yes, thank you very much.
And anything else?
I had a question, but I kind of answered it while you were talking.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So nice to meet you.
And you as well.
I have so much love for you.
Our unconditional love to you as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For some reason, everything you say really resonates with me.
For some reason, yes. It's because you're aligned with this frequency in terms of how you need to receive information.
I have a question
Yes.
regarding myself.
Yes.
Hopefully, maybe you can help me.
Maybe I can.
Figure
Maybe
this
I
out.
can't. We'll find out together.
Okay. I have been doing stock options trading for 10 years plus.
Oh, all right. This excites you?
It does, but it doesn't, it hasn't served me.
It hasn't served you?
No, because I lose more money than I make.
Then it has served you. It has served you very well. Maybe it's serving you by telling you maybe this isn't the way to go for you.
Yes, but
Maybe you need to put more stock in yourself.
Why would an intelligent person like me keep doing it for like 10 years?
That's a very intelligent question.
But it still excites me. And I'm trying to follow my excitement.
Are you sure it's really excitement? That's the first thing to always check. Are you actually acting on excitement, or are you actually acting out of anxiety and calling it excitement in a state of denial? Because you might be afraid to actually do the thing that really excites you, because you have a definition that it can't support you somehow? Just a question. But you can think about that for a moment.
Yes, perhaps.
Yes, perhaps. All right. Let me put it to you this way. If it wasn't an issue of how it could be helped to happen, what would you rather be doing if you could do anything?
I would like to awaken people to their own health, because I'm always telling families and friends. And
are you saying that that's really exciting for you?
That is really exciting for me.
Is it more exciting than investing in stocks?
Well, stocks has a different kind of excitement.
I understand, but I'm asking you a question right now.
Is it more exciting?
Right now is that idea, if
Yes.
you knew you could do
Yes.
it, that's more exciting.
Yes.
All right, so what can you do to invest in that first? Because if the stocks actually are representative of one of your expressions of real excitement, the only way you're going to allow it to synchronize and harmonize in a way that really serves you in your life is to act on the thing that excites you the most first, and allow that to be the driving engine and the organizing principle of every other expression of excitement that will then automatically play out through synchronicity in your life to show you what you need to do, in what order, and when. This is how you understand how to use excitement, because it is, as we have said many times, a complete kit. It has all the tools you need. It has the driving engine that moves you forward. It has the organizing principle that brings you the synchronicity. It is the path of least resistance. It is the path that connects you to all other forms of excitement in your life. It is the reflective mirror that reveals to you anything that's out of alignment with your excitement, so that you can identify it and let it go and add that energy to your excitement. It leaves absolutely nothing relevant out of your life. But the only way it really works in the way that you would prefer it to is by activating it, by acting on the thing that excites you the most to the best of your ability first, with no insistence on a particular outcome. That's how the formula activates the kit. So if you act on the thing that excites you the most first to the best that you are able to, until you can take it no further, and then look for the next option, and act on whichever one contains even just a little bit more excitement than any other option, no matter what it is, no matter how simple it seems, no matter how basic, no matter how mundane it may seem, if it contains even just a little bit more excitement than any other option at that moment, that's your synchronicity, that's your higher mind saying, this is the thing to do next. If investing in stocks is in the mix somewhere of what really represents one expression of your excitement, it will be put into the mix in the proper order. Synchronicity will organize it to let you know when it is actually the appropriate time to act on that expression of your excitement as opposed to any other. If it never shows up, that's not what serves you. Are you beginning to understand how this machine works?
Yes, what I'm hearing is acting on your most excitement right now.
To the best of your ability.
To the best of your ability.
With zero insistence on a particular outcome. I know that that's a challenge for a lot of you. Zero insistence on a specific outcome. Do you understand why that's important?
Because your higher self is going to show you what you can't see in this form.
Exactly, and the physical mind can't always tell what that's going to be. But it will always be what's actually best for you. So the idea of having an image, a symbol, a goal, whatever you want to call it, a visualization, that's fine. But you use that to instill the state of being of excitement within you Because you get excited when you think about that goal, when you have that idea, when you see that visualization, it gets you excited. Oh yes, this is the best thing that could possibly happen. This is the best outcome I can imagine. That's fine. But once you get all excited about what it is you're seeing or thinking about, drop the goal, drop the vision, utterly. Let it go, because you don't actually know if that representation is the best possible representation of that level of excitement. But your higher mind does know what the best representation is. And if you make space by dropping that picture, then you will allow the higher mind to fill that space with what really needs to be there. And in fact, if you understand that the physical mind has its limitations, then you will know that what the physical mind might think or believe to be the ideal outcome may actually be a limitation on the ideal outcome. So why would you prefer that? Does this make sense?
Yes, because, probably like most people, I bought into the idea 10 years ago when I wanted to do this as a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
To be with my children, and then I got like in a habit of doing it. But I was putting forth from my physical mind to say, well, if I can make X amount of dollars, then I can do all this other stuff.
Making a lot of dollars doesn't always make the most sense. Do you understand? Because abundance is simply the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it.
I've heard you say that, yes.
All right. Well, if you've heard it, maybe you want to start practicing it. Because the idea is, it doesn't mean that you can't attract money into your life. That's one legitimate representation of abundance on your planet. It's a symbol of abundance. But that's all it is. It's a symbol, one symbol. If someone comes along and gives you something that allows you to do what you need to do, that's also a symbol of abundance. So if you know that it would be easier, the path of least resistance, for someone to actually come along and say, hey, you know what, I don't need this anymore, maybe you can use it, and it's exactly what you needed, would you actually put your foot down and say, no, 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 thank you, I'm going to wait until I make enough money to get that. I'm not going to take it from you as a gift. Would you do that? Of course not. Do you understand?
Yes, there's more than one path to.
And when you focus only on one representation of abundance, you actually close the doors through which other forms can come.
I think that's what I've been doing.
I know. That's why I said what you need to be investing in is your own stock. So take stock of what your beliefs are and invest in yourself so that you can appreciate yourself more. Yes?
Yes.
And when you appreciate yourself fully, you will be rich beyond your wildest dreams in more ways than you can imagine. Because you already are abundant. You all are already fully abundant. The issue is not learning to be abundant. The issue is learning what to be abundant in. Because you are always abundant in something, even if it's an abundance of lack. You cannot lack abundance, but you can have an abundance of lack. So if you don't prefer an abundance of lack, choose a different form of abundance. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You cannot not be abundant. That's not possible. It's your nature. Everything exists right here, right now. Everything you need is here and now. When you allow yourself to exist in the here and now, you will begin to perceive what is also with you in the here and now that is reflective of your true abundant nature. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Your stock just went up.
I have another question.
Yes.
About the concept or the idea of parallel realities.
Yes, yes, yes. You're going through billions of them every second to create the side effect you call time.
Right.
Right. I didn't understand a word he just said, but I'll go along with it.
Well, okay. So if everything is happening at the same...
All at once, yes.
All at once.
Yes.
Which then, so in other words, there's another me somewhere having a life.
Another version, actually millions and billions of other versions of what you consider to be you having other lives.
And that's all happening at the same time.
Right here, right now.
Right
You just
here.
can't see them because the vibrational patterns are different than what you can perceive. Just again, simply enough, by analogy, like your television. At any given moment, there are dozens of programs playing all at once. You only see the one you're tuned to. Change the channel, you get another one. The other one is still playing. They all happen at the same time. It's just a matter of frequency as to what you can perceive.
Then if I shift my frequency,
You shift to a parallel version of you, which is what you're doing to create the concept, the illusion, the experience of change, time, growth. That's what you're doing. Every single parallel reality is actually just a frozen frame. You have to move through the frames with your consciousness like a projector light in order to create the illusion of movement and change and time and space. So by doing that, you're creating this idea of what appears to be the same you going through some changes, but it's not. It never is the same you. You are an absolutely, utterly, completely different version of you, billions of times per second, existing in billions of different versions of Earth. But that's what you call time. That's how you create the space-time illusion, because you are essentially a timeless being. So how can you discover something new about yourself if you only experience timelessness? You have to forget who you are and impose upon that new clean slate an idea called space-time that allows you to have an experience of discovering yourself for the first time in a new situation from a new perspective so that you can have a new experience. So the structure of existence never changes, but your perspective of it does, and that's what expands creation. The changes in your perspective of a structure that never changes. That's the paradox. Is this helping, or am I just confusing?
Yes, but
Yes, I'm confusing
still,
you, or I'm helping?
No, I'm still sort of stuck on then what distinguishes my consciousness in this time-space reality?
You mean this one?
Well,
or this one?
This body
or this
on
one?
this earth.
Or this one? Or this one?
But then why can't I, see myself when I was in Atlantis?
Sometimes people can. It depends upon your perspective and definition of the idea of what creates a barrier between what you consider to be different times. Of course, it's not always relevant for someone to have that ability. Doesn't mean you have to be able to do that to live a full life. And sometimes being able to experience or connect more strongly, more consciously into a parallel life going on right now in Atlantis doesn't necessarily always benefit what theme you're exploring right here and now. Conversely, you are always downloading information from all those different parallel versions when you need them, whether you know you are doing so or not. And again, the point may be that you're downloading information and experience as you need to apply it in your life, and stopping to figure out where it's exactly coming from may actually slow the process down, and you may not really actually prefer to do that. So you're doing it all the time, you're connecting all the time, you're drawing information from all those parallel lives all the time, or at least many of them, just as they are doing with you, drawing upon your experiences as they need them in their lives. Because from the physical level, those people are their own people. They're not you. You are you, they are they. And you're making that cross connection from the present. There's no such thing as the past. That's an illusion. All lives exist now. Therefore, you make a connection to them as you need information from them. But because you are coming from a space-time perspective, you interpret that connection as a past connection, as a memory. But you're creating that right now in the present, billions of times a second, over and over and over again, to create a sense of continuity for yourself in order for you to have a space-time linear experience. Is any of this sinking in?
Yeah, it sounds like it's all about frequency.
Very good. It is. It's all about frequency because that's really the only thing that can differentiate what is essentially a homogeneous medium. The one is a homogeneous medium. It's all one, yes? So anything you perceive as a difference has to be the one expressing itself at a different frequency in order to appear to be something else. Make sense?
Yes.
So it's all about resonance. It's all about frequency.
So is that the same reason why I heard you say the toxins, chemtrails, whatnot, it doesn't have to be our reality if we are not vibrating in that frequency?
If you have the capacity to truly know that you are living a completely different truth than someone else, then you will experience a completely different physical reality. You have given yourself many different kinds of symbols or representations of this idea. In other words, one sample, one example, one symbol is many of your medical doctors have discovered that people on your planet with what you call multiple personality disorder, which is not really that thing, but nevertheless, one personality can actually have a cancerous tumor. The minute they switch to another personality, that cancerous tumor is gone. Instantly. Because they literally, truly are another personality believing a whole other reality. So it can be done, and it is done all the time. But you have to be able to wrap your mind around the fact that that's how it actually works in order for you to know that you can do that consciously and intentionally. But that's part of the process of what many of you are learning in this age of transformation. So let it be okay that it's a process. That's what life is all about anyway.
So in other words, based on your multiple personality example,
yes,
if I were to know that, chemtrails really exist and there's aluminum, whatnot, being sprayed.
Yes.
But if
if you know that they can have no effect on you, they will not.
Got it.
You can neutrally observe realities that you don't have to experience everything of. That's one of the traits of the new transformational age on your planet. You can observe people that have reality experiences that you don't have to experience, and just observing them neutrally doesn't mean you have to be affected by them. It's just information for you, perhaps even to be able to help them make a change too. You have to be aware of what they're going through in order to help them know they can change. So you have to be aware that there are other realities you could be experiencing, but no, are not relevant for you.
So we have the power to neutrally observe what is.
Absolutely.
And not let...
That's the balance point. You see, many of you talk about your physical reality as if it's actually a polarity, a duality. It's not. It's a trinity. Between the light and the dark, the positive and negative, there is always the center point, the balance point. And the big secret is because it's an actual true balance point, which gives you the conscious ability to choose what you prefer, that means creation is actually very slightly biased in the direction of the positive. So if you did nothing else but just let go, utterly let go, the natural currents in creation would carry you toward the positive side eventually.
All right, let's say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right. Thank you. I have a question for all of you. Do you have a soul?
Yes.
No. What does he mean by that? Of course we have souls. No. You don't have a soul. You are a soul. So, this perspective can change a lot of things in the way that you experience physical reality because you're creating it. It's a projection of your consciousness. And here, fundamentally, is how you do this. Now imagine, if you will, that you are a soul, an orb of light. So picture this in your mind. You are this sphere, this orb of light. And within it, there are ripples of energy, patterns of energy. Just like dropping a pebble into the pond creates ripples. Imagine ripples in every direction inside this orb of energy, this orb of light. When a soul decides to have a physical experience, this is what happens. These ripples that all are happening inside this sphere of light, this sphere of energy, this sphere of consciousness, all these ripples represent different aspects, different qualities, different attributes of the soul. So when a soul decides to experience a theme in physical terms, some of those ripples, some of those attributes are focused on, and they condense down and down and down in a focus to the center of the orb of light. Now, that doesn't mean the orb disappears. It is still there. Only some of the aspects of it have condensed down into this tiny small bit at the center. You might call it a seed, a hard kernel, like a subatomic particle. And that small crystallized seed at the center of that orb of light is your physical mind. That is how the soul creates its experience of physical reality. It creates a focus, it creates a dream experience within the center of its being, taking some of the qualities, some of the attributes, some of the aspects of its total self, crystallizing them, focusing down into that little center seed, that little center crystal. And that center crystal contains those attributes that represent the theme that that being will explore as a physical being in that physical dream at the center of the soul. So when that life is over, the soul doesn't leave the body. The crystal seed starts to expand again, starts to open up again, starts to soften, and starts to merge back with and into itself as the soul. So that is what death is simply the awakening from the dream state, from the little crystallized seed at the center of the soul. And the idea of the expansion of consciousness overall is what begins that process of opening up. It doesn't mean that just expanding your consciousness means you have to die physically, but the idea is that you open up and you are a little bit like a small open sphere inside the bigger sphere. Not so concentrated, not so crystallized, not so hard, not so focused, so that you have the ability to tap into the vibration of the soul more readily, more easily. And this becomes the relationship between your physical mind and your higher mind, which is the soul, which is that portion of you that is still the sphere of light, the sphere of consciousness, the sphere of energy. That is the higher mind according to the physical kernel at the center, the physical seed. So by allowing yourself to expand a little bit, it's easier for you to, by raising your vibration, expanding that seed in the center, tap into the communication, the ripples, the information that is always coming to you from the rest of your being, the rest of you as a soul, as a sphere of consciousness, a sphere of light. By opening up a little bit, you then contain the ability within that seed, within the center of that seed, to harbor some of the vibrational frequencies of information that come to you, the messages that come to you from your soul, from the higher mind. So the idea then is that comes in an energy language, as we have said. And that energy language, that energy message from your soul self to the little seed that is more expanded, is translated by that little seed in the center, that little physical mind being in the center, as the sensation called passion, curiosity, love, creativity. And that is when you receive the message from the soul self that whatever contains that passion, whatever contains that excitement, that curiosity, that attraction, that is who you really are. That is your core frequency. That is your core theme. That is your core creativity. It is the next step on your path. And that's why it's so important to act on that passion. Because action as the little seed, is the language of the physical reality dream. Not words, not thoughts, but actions, physical actions. Let the soul know that there is an echo from the crystal. There is a reaction, a response from the crystal that it heard the message from the soul self and is willing to act on it, willing to be guided by it, willing in that sense to move forward in that way, which then allows the soul to respond to that echo. And then you create that back and forth dialogue between the soul sphere and the crystal seed that is you as a physical mind, as a physical being. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So again, focusing on yourself as a physical being, saying, I, as a physical human, have a soul, is very different than understanding that you are a soul that is simply having a human experience, that is having a human dream, a physical reality dream. So the idea is to allow yourself to really start opening up and remembering that you never leave spirit. Spirit is your natural state. You haven't left it. Most of you is there right now. All of you is there right now. But you have this little crystalline seed portion of your greater self that is pretending, that is dreaming that it's no longer in spirit. That is what physical reality is. And when you start looking at it from that direction, you start really tapping into your innate self-empowerment, your true nature, your true core essential vibration. And many more things can happen that are more representative of alignment between your physical mind and your higher mind, so that you can really understand you are not a human being physically that has a soul. You do not have a body, and inside the body is your soul. You are a soul, and inside your soul is your body. That's the difference. So, you are a soul, you don't have a soul, you are the soul. We thank you for allowing us to share this perspective with you this day of your time. In return for the gift that you are giving us in allowing us to serve you in this way and share this knowledge, we ask, how may we continue to be of service to you? You may begin with your dialogues and questions.